Hey everyone, welcome to the video. Current today's MLB main slate for today on DraftKings. Before we continue though, if you could leave a like, subscribe to the channel, I really appreciate that. You can also follow me on Twitter at cpen_16. And if you want access to this cheat sheet, you can look at the pitcher stats and all that, hitter stats, and then you get the cheat sheet. You can drop your email in the comments below, and then I'll be able to send that to you, and then you can just have it, so you can have us look at it and access it. I update it every day, so you will have that. So if you want that, just drop your email in the comments below. And anyway, let's get into this slate. So for pitchers today, there's a lot of good pitching options. But Jacob deGrom's going to be on number 1, 10,200. He finally got going last start, and now he gets a great matchup versus San Diego, who struggles versus righties. I mean, they're a very right-handed heavy lineup, and Jacob deGrom has a high K rate, and he's just got elite numbers all around. I mean, recently he's been hurt, but it seems like he's going to be turning that around. And they have a near league high 27% K rate, and deGrom, I believe, has a 32% K rate. So I think it's an awesome matchup for him. He's going to be my number 1 today. And then Garrett Cole, 10,700. Now, it is possible to spend up for both of these guys, and I'll get into that later. But he's got the highest strikeout rate on the slate with 35%, and he's in an awesome spot at home, and he's a heavy favorite versus a team who got shut down by Turnbull the other day. So I think 10 to 12 strikeouts isn't out of the question. I think he's in an awesome spot today. Then if you need a cheap punt play, Martin Perez, I don't mind. Only a GPP play, though. It's pretty risky, but I don't mind if you're spending up on bats and GPP. Toronto's been really bad versus lefties with a 28% K rate and 104 ISO, which is highest K rate, and it's the second lowest ISO. So definitely like that punt play. And then catcher, Jorge Alfaro, 3,600. He strikes out a lot, but he's got decent power versus lefties with 154 ISO. Then JT Realmuto, they just have him priced too cheap, I think. And if you're not spending up for these two guys, just fill in whoever fits at the end. That's basically what I usually do anyway. I usually just pick the cheapest catcher I can. And then first base, Matt Carpenter, 3,800. Vince really struggles with lefties, and Carp is a 255 ISO versus righty, so he makes a lot of sense today. Then the two Rays first baseman, Ji-Man Choi and Nate Lowe. I think the Rays are sneaky stacked tonight, and Choi hits righties very well, 237 ISO, and I think Lowe's in a good spot as well. And then second base, Jose Altuve, 4,400. He's still cheap, and I like the Astros tonight a lot versus Junis, who's going to give up a lot of power to both sides of the plate. Then Brandon Lau, 4,800. Still on fire and gets a matchup versus Kelly, as I already said. He struggles over both sides of the plate, and I think the Rays could be a sneaky stack tonight. And then Starlin Castro, 3,000. He's dirt cheap facing a righty and gets a park boost in Wrigley. All these Marlins are priced like way too cheap. I know they're the Marlins and they suck, but I mean 3,000. And I do believe this is Castro's old team. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if it is, then you get the revenge narrative there as well. So I do like some of these Marlins tonight. It's going to allow you to get some nice bats, and nice bats, and it's going to let you to spend up on both pitching spots at SP1 and SP2. So I don't mind the Marlins tonight. Then third base, Alex Bregman, 5,000. Talk about being on fire. He's got 4 home runs in his last 3 games. And then another good matchup versus righty, gives up power. He's got elite numbers versus righties. Matt Carpenter, we already talked about. Brian Anderson, here's another cheap Marlin, 3,100. They're getting priced like they're playing like Bauer or Verlander, and they're just not. I mean, I know Hamels has been good, but he's not like top tier, like elite level SP1. So I know they aren't good, but they can still hit lefties, and they're all just really cheap. So I don't mind them at all. I think the optimal cash games build is going to be like get some Marlins in and then spend up on the 2 pitchers. And then at shortstop, Xander Bogaerts, 4,800. He hit a home run in back-to-back games, and now gets a good matchup versus Means in the Baltimore bullpen. And then Carlos Correa, he's just another Astro I like. And then Corey Seager, 3,600. He hasn't done much, but I like the lefty on righty matchup, and he's cheap and he hits high in the order. And then JD Martinez, 5,100. He's a known lefty smasher, and he has a 310 ISO versus them. He's one of the top home run calls of the day. Then Mookie Betts, 5,500. After a slow start, he's starting to heat up, and he's a must-play if you're going to be stacking up the Red Sox. But if you had to pick one, I would side with JD just because he's cheaper, and he just mashes lefties. Then Christian Yelich, 5,600. He should be low on going against Scherzer, but Scherzer's been getting hit a little bit this year, and he's usually good for a solo shot or 2 by a lefty. So I think Yelich would be the one to do that, and he should be hitting leadoff, I think. That's what he's projected, so if he's hitting leadoff, I definitely like that a lot. And then mid-range outfield, we have Michael Brantley, 4,900. He's just one of my favorite guys to play because of his elite contact. He's also shown some power this season. He's one of my favorite plays of the slate, if you can afford him. And then Tommy Pham, 4,500. So far, Kelly has been worse versus righties, although it's a small sample size, but Pham has hit righties well with a near 200 ISO, and I think the Rays are sneaky tonight. Then Bryce Harper, 4,500. Mikolas isn't bad, but he does give up some hard contact to lefties, and Harper has some elite numbers versus righties with a 252 ISO. Then in the value outfield, we have Isaac Galloway, 3,300. It's a small sample size, but 286 ISO versus righties and a high WOBA, and he's cheap, and he should be leading off, so I don't mind that at all, actually. Brian Anderson, we already talked about. Stevie Wilkerson still in the 2K range, and then Randall Grichuk, 4,100. He strikes out a lot, but he does have over 200 ISO versus left-handed pitching. And then if we go to some of the core plays and stacks, so I have DeGrom, Carpenter, and JD as my core plays right now. It looks like a nice day around MLB for the weather, so I don't have any impactful weather listed. Then the top stacks for me are going to be the Astros, the Red Sox, and the Rays, and then the Miami cheap stack to get your pitching in. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for the video. If you're wondering why the heck the NASCAR race didn't happen yesterday, it's because it got rained out, and it's going to be starting at noon today. So if you're going to watch the race, it starts at noon. I don't know what channel, but anyway, guys, that's all I have for the video. Remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate that, and good luck today.